and welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Retro Refix. And on this week's episode, we're going to do something a little bit different. I don't normally do this. I got an email sent through and asked if I wanted to review an item. I don't normally do reviews on things. I normally avoid things like that because I do normally just do the repairs. But this is going to come in really handy for doing some more console repairs of the handhelds and things like that, and small repairs. So what did we get? So I got an email through from Andonstar asking me if I wanted to review a microscope, a digital microscope. So they sent me through this box, and what we're going to do is open this box up, build it up and take a look at it. I'm really happy that Andonstar decided to send me this box and the digital microscope. My eyesight is not getting any better as I'm getting older, and I am finding it quite difficult to be able to see things properly when they're very small without using glasses and microscopes and magnifying glasses. So this is going to come in really handy. So thank you, Andonstar, for sending this through. So that's enough of me waffling on for the minute. Wait until the end. We'll have a little bit of a discussion at the end of the video about this and what else is coming up on the channel over Christmas. So let's get to it. So here's the microscope that Andonstar sent me. This is the boxed up version. All I've done is broken the seal down the sides so I can actually open it and let you have a look on camera without messing about. I've not done anything else with this at all. So yeah, this has come from Andonstar. Zora at Andonstar got in touch with me a few weeks ago and asked me if I would like to review a digital microscope. My kind response was yes. My eyes are not getting any younger. I would love to review one of these digital microscopes. I'll pop a picture up here for you. The Andonstar is pretty much the same as the Linkmicro Lm246Ms. I believe this is MS. Not quite sure, but we'll have a look when we get into it. So yeah, the Andonstar is an AN249. So this is an LM249. And they also did the Tomlov DM602, which they're all pretty much, and there is another YouTube video which shows you all three in comparison of these in this picture here that you can see here. I don't know the link to that anymore. It has gone. It was done by another YouTuber called Evil Monkeys Designs, and that were about 3 weeks ago. I watched that and that was quite good review of this unit. So yeah, so let's have a look, see what Andonstar has sent us. I'm just going to unbox this out of the way, get the box out of the way and all the gubbins, and then we'll build it up from afresh. So I've not really looked in it, I've not really looked at the instructions. I just wanted to do it straight off the bat, just like it would do if you purchased it from home. So let's get into it. So first of all, we have got the user manual. It's a 246S and a 249S. So we'll have a look at the model when we get inside. We've got the components instruction manual. It tells you how to build it all step by step. So that's really nice. So we should be able to get that up and going. Apparently it does come with a slide unit, so you get some slides in there and all to have a look at these. I might have a look at them, I don't know. This part of it is not really an interest on myself. I'm more interested in this for doing electronic circuit boards. a bit like the Game Gear capacitor kits that I'm going to do in the next couple of videos coming up over Christmas. I've got 2 of the Game Gears to do, and I'm going to recap them, but we're going to recap them with some surface mounts, and they are absolutely tiny as some of them surface mount capacitors. See if we can look at that picture there with my finger against them. So they are actually tiny, and my old eyesight is certainly not going to be able to solder them to a motherboard just by using my eyes and glasses. So this is going to come in really handy for doing things like that. So let's just put the instructions to one side for a minute. Well, let's get inside. So straight off the bat, we have got this screen. Let's pull this out. So we've got the screen. Let's take it out of the bag. So funny enough, Andonstar has sent me this unit, and we have got a Linkmicro microscope. So that pretty much says it all, doesn't it, really? I would say that these are all exactly the same as what you saw in that picture with the Tomlov Andonstar and the Linkmicro. But yeah, first straight off the bat, that looks very nice. We've got this camera built into the bottom here with this roller for adjusting. These holders, lens cap in there, and we'll do the peel. We'll do the peel because we'll take the peel off. Now there is a screen protector on in here, but apparently when I watched another video it doesn't fit, so I'm not going to be using that screen protector. You can see it. No, I can't get to it, but it does have a screen protector underneath that one. You can see the bubble in the plastic showing you the screen protector underneath, but like I said, we're not going to be using that, so let's get rid of that. So that's a screen. What else have we got in here? We've got the remote control. Which we'll take out of its bag. Nice handy little remote control. Yeah, looks nice. Do we get batteries with it? No, we don't. Maybe in the packaging further down, but we'll have to take a look. What next up in here? We have what looks like the light up unit. You can see the bottom of there's an LED. And it has a power socket at the back here for lighting up, and then you put your slides on. I think there's 2 little clamp things in there that hold the slides down as well, so we'll install them clamps on there. The clamps do go somewhere else as well on the base, which will show you that, but I'm not going to be putting them on. We also have a big long power cable, which looks like it has an on and off, and it has a zoom feature on there as well. Could be the brightness for the LEDs on the base, but we'll look into that. We have some little cap bolts in there for some reason, which we will find out shortly. Set that out of the bag because we're not going to need them. They have some little rubber buffers on the end of them and all little rubber pads, so I presume they're screwing to stop things moving. But we'll, as I said, we'll get to that. What have we got in there? That looks like another couple of lenses. Good stuff. We'll open them when we get it built. Inside there we have some little tweezers, and it looks like the slides that are in there, because I can see pine stem, and I think there's a honeybee leg and arm as well inside them packs, but again we might have a look at them. You get the power supply, which is a good do. The UK one, that's where I am. We have got a 32 gig micro USB stick for recording our footage into the screen. We have another USB power cable. That must be if you don't want to bother with any of the other stuff, you just want to power the screen. And I think, what have we got here? That looks like it might be a lens cap. So we're getting down to nitty gritty. So that looks like his little bracket for sitting it in. I'm hoping that we should be able to undo that and that slides. Yes, it does, and I'll explain about that in a bit. We'll just move that to one side. We have an HDMI cable, and we have the actual base unit. So let's slide that cover off. And there's the base unit with his LED torches, so we can look at the things on that. So I'm going to move this box out of the way, and then we'll carry on building it up. So here we've got the base. Now I didn't show you a minute ago in the box because I didn't realise it was in there until I've lifted it out, but we've also got this bar which has got a stopper on it to stop it from coming down too far with the microscope. So we'll, first of all, we'll build that in there. So that's his pole installed. It is quite easy is this to put on, to be honest. I do like it. So we'll go for the next part, which is the mount for the screen. If you look right at the very end there, you can just see a little groove. And I'll show you what that's for in a minute. Slide that down the top. It is a little bit low at the minute, so I'm just going to lift that up. Let's slacken that off and lift that up a bit. We can adjust all this in a bit, I just don't want it falling off. So that's that adjusted. These bolts are for yet, but we'll put the microscope in. If you can see on the microscope, I don't know if I can try and show you, but there's a little groove there, look, which sits into the front groove on here. And we'll have to take these lens screws out to get that in. Whoops. Take that off. Sit that in there. Should be able to turn it and it drops into place. Put these screws back in the side so we don't lose them for the minute. We might have to change that, to be honest. It might not be good enough for us. But we'll screw that in there. We'll nip up these two bolts at the back, which holds the monitor in place, and that should be that. So we've now got a monitor screen we can tilt, and them in there. So while we're at it, I'm just going to spin this round and let you take a look at the back. So in the back there, we've got a micro USB and a HDMI port, and the place for the SD card. So we'll install the SD card. Get it the right way around. There we go, that's locked in. So we will need our big cable. We have the angled one that goes into the top there. We have the little one there that goes into the base unit for his lights, and then the other end is just simply the USB port. So there you go, you can see we've got that fired up. Moving these lights around a little bit so you can have a quick look at this circuit board. And yeah, wow, that looks quite cool, doesn't it? So we should be able to adjust this. I don't know if that was the highest point. We should have taken that up to the middle probably. So if we take that to the top, halfway down, and adjust that. So I'm working off that, and I've got a good 9" or so off the ground there, and that looks really, really good. It doesn't look a little bit blurry on your screen, but let me just adjust that in. There we go. So that screen is actually really, really good. It's absolutely crisp. Move you up a little bit more so you can see. So yeah, that screen is spot on. So what have we got in the menus? Let's have a look. So I don't know what that button does, but it did something. We haven't got any timer clicking on it yet. What does that do? Oh, no file found. What's that do? Nope, we're learning as we're going along. Ah, so that's set off recording, the record time for that now. Which was that button, so we can stop again with that. That says power off. No, it's not. It's a photograph. So we've got video on, photograph. There must be a menu button somewhere. Oh, no, that's power off. Welcome. And we get into a resolution there, so we can change the resolution, exposure, date, time, sharpness, freeze, contrast. Burst shot, etc. So there's quite a lot of menu systems in there. You can change it. I watched on a video as well that you can change it into negative, so you can swap it and flip it around. But yeah, but as you can see with that, as we are at the moment, that looks pretty good. So let's try popping one of these other lenses in and see what difference that makes to it. Because I'm quite happy with the height where it is at the moment, but I'm not happy with the amount that I can see. I could probably see better. So let's pop this one in, and this one is a 45mm. I might be wrong putting this in, but let's have a look. So the other alternate feature that this camera has is that it will do HDMI out to the television screen. So what I'm going to do now is just move this camera out of the way a little bit, the microscope out of the way a little bit, and put my camera onto my PC screen so we can have a look at that. So this is my PC screen now, and as you can see the LCD microscope here and the PC screen at the back there. So that's absolutely awesome. We're not quite focused on that bolt, but we can just adjust. You can see every single little thing on that bolt. Look, you can see all the little bits of metal on it from when it were originally cut. That looks crazy. So if we go back, readjust back a little bit so we can see the board clear. There we go. So this thing is pretty good. The only thing I'm finding with it is when I'm touching it, or if I bang the desk, we've got wobble. But I think that's to do with the lens, etc. and stuff like that we're working with. And if I went back to the original first lens, I don't think you'd get as much as that. Well, I'll just take that bolt out of the way. So I wanted to use this for looking at circuit boards and seeing if any do damage. And this is going to work absolutely perfect for what we want. I wonder what that is. A little speck there, look, on that solder. And we can have a look round, look. Oh, look, that capacitor's broken, so that'll probably get damp inside it, so that will probably want changing. We've got another knackered one up there. This board itself is knackered, look. It's knackered. I only got hold of this old PCB because it had a Zilog Z80 in it that I wanted to keep. So yeah, this is great. Oh, there's something broken off there, probably in a resistor like that one. Been smashed away, look. Look at that hole, look at that. Doesn't that look mad? Can we look closer to that? Yeah, so yeah, we can even take a look at that, and you can see that it's got a dry solder joint in there. See if I can wiggle it so you can see it. You might not be able to. There you go. It's gonna break out, is that? That's amazing. So I've just... Yeah, that's awesome, is that? That's gonna work really well for doing repairs. But I don't like this lens. I think this lens is a little bit too far in for me. So let's go back to the original one. So that's better. We can actually work a lot easier with this. If I wanted to have a look at one of my professional snap-on pics that's had a bit of abuse, so we might see damage on this now. No, it's not too bad. So you can see up there, that's that little thing that we were playing around with. You can see right into the hole. As you can see, it's massively smaller now. But yeah, I think if I were soldering in here now, I should be able to get in there and do that properly. The only problem is I've been told that you can't really see the depth and you don't know when you're going to touch. But if you watch the shadow, you can get to the shadow. You know when you're going to touch, because the shadow is going to touch with it. So it does give you a little bit of depth when you're looking at stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool, is that? One of the things that I did notice the videos saying is it was complaining about the depth that you could get the boards into under here because of the hitting of the back pole. Yeah, you've only got about so much. You can see my thumb there. So you've got about so much depth. But there isn't many that mentioned that if you turn it round to the side, you can adjust this so you can slacken that bolt and you can move that right out there. So now you can see on the screen that we can just see the edge of the plate. We can't see that, and then we can see the desk. So that's pretty good too. So for me, that's pretty good, and we're looking like we have got probably a good 9" or so now before from the lens point to the back of the base. So I don't see that being much of an issue unless you needed to come right out further over something else. So yeah, I think that would be perfectly fine to have circuit boards sort of out there. Look. So it can be done. You can see the depth, you can see the different distance between the here and here. I think it's just focused on the Z80 there. So yeah, it's got quite a good depth. I think that's pretty cool, that. But I wanted to mention that in the video, that you can actually adjust it and move it further out if you wish. Like I said, there's a lot of videos out there that I have noticed don't seem to mention that you can move this in and out of there. But it's quite logical, to be fair. Why would you have this beam thing here if you can't adjust it? So these are the Ghostbusters for the Commodore 64. I just thought we'd take a look. Let me just scope that in a little bit better. So what I'll do is I'll link this as well. So I'm going to try and set off the video, however that works. Oh, video's running then. Yeah, video's running. So I'll show you what the quality of this video is like side by side. I'll stick it down here or something like that so you can take a look. We have got the light on the screen a little bit, so let me just tilt that forward so you can see. We can move them out of the way a little bit to take some glare off. But yeah, we can certainly look at that. Can we go further in? So if I can drop that screen down a little bit so we can get a bit more of a zoom. We can just focus that a little bit more. So yeah, so now we can see the build quality from PCBWay's circuit boards. Because that looks pretty cool, does that? See how tiny little veer there, look. You see how small that is? Yeah, so that's absolutely awesome. You can see the quality of the solder joints, you can see the quality of the PCB, the mask, everything's great on there. I did mention earlier on about the Game Gear capacitors, surface mount ones, so I'm going to show you them now. I'll just move that out of the way. So this is the Game Gear capacitor and this is the one UF. There's two of these little bad boys and I'm going to show you how tiny they are. I did show you a picture earlier on, but I wanted to give you some form of scale. So you saw me snap-on screwdriver, so let's just put that towards them, look, and you can see how small they actually are. They are absolutely minute. I'll put it under my finger and scope that in. You can see how tiny they are, and there's no way on the planet that I'm ever going to solder them with a soldering iron and my eyeballs. They're absolutely tiny. So yeah, I like this piece of kit. I think it's awesome, and I think it's going to do us really, really well, as well as showing you guys some videos later on with the repairs. So let's take a look through these instructions. So on the instructions, it tells us the specifications of this unit. What I did is I took a screenshot, the comparison between the Tomlov and the Andonstar, and as you can see, there isn't much to it. If you look at the firmware versions, okay, firmware versions might be a little bit different. They're identical to the Linkmicro and the Andonstar firmware are identical. The Tomlov is slightly different. The main board is an AD400, which is the same all the way through. The CPU is a Novatech NT9663BGH, and it is the same all the way through the brands. And the RAM is the only difference that I've found between the Linkmicro and the Tomlov and the Andonstar, where it's got a Samsung DDR3 4GB as opposed to the, I can't pronounce that, Chikorix, something like that, which is a DDRL 2GB, and the Andonstar is 2GB. So the Linkmicro does have 4GB memory over the others. The Wi-Fi that's on it as well, which you connect Wi-Fi to it over the network, is also exactly the same unit. The monitor PCB is the same. The monitor flex cord, which I imagine is going to be the same anyway. And then the image sensor, which is an OmniVision OV468X, 4 megapixel, is the same across the board. So we can see that all these three units are identical except for the memory on the Linkmicro, which I'm happy about that because I've got the Linkmicro version. So just going over its specifications that it says here in the book, which I'll put that picture up as well for you. The video resolution is UHD 24 frames, FHD at 1920 by 800 at 60 frames, 60 or 30 frames, and the HD is 120 frames a second, which we won't be bothered with the HD, we'll just stick to the UHD at 24 frames. The video format is going to be MPEG-4, which is great for the editing. The frame rates is a maximum of 220 frames. Magnification ratio, well, lens A is 18-720, D lens is 1800 to 2040, and the larger lens is 40-240x with a 3x digital zoom and output to a 28-inch HDMI monitor, which is what we've been running it on earlier. The video resolution maximum is 5600 by 4200, 24mm. Photograph format is JPEG. Storage micro SD card 32 gig. Video output HDMI. PC support is Windows XP. Wow, 7, 8, 10. The power supply is 5V 2A. The stand size is 20 centimeters by 18 by 33, and the package includes the microscope stand base, 3 lenses, holder, dimmer cable, micro HD, USB cable, slide kit, tweezers and bug box. That's what that little plastic circular box was. That's a bug box. I didn't know that at the time. So yeah, that's the Andonstar 246Ms, I believe, or SM, I can't remember rightly. But that microscope, look at it. It's absolutely awesome. What a piece of kit that is. Thank you very much, Andonstar, for sending that through. I will give it probably an 8 out of 10, possibly 9. But yeah, 8 out of 10 I would say is a solid 8 out of 10. These improvements on it, the base could be a little bit more heavier to stop that wobble and stuff like that. But you do get the remote control, so you don't have to touch the desk at all, so that's great. You do get all the video quality, you get zoom with the remote and everything like that, which I went through that in the video for you. But yeah, that microscope is absolutely great. So thank you very much, guys, for sending me that through to review. Up and coming videos, we've got quite a bit over the Christmas period. I have had an Amiga 1200 sent to me from Colorado Springs to do a recap on that one. We have got a couple of Game Gears, one of them which was given to me by my cousin Carla, the other one was given to me by my uncle Trevor to repair my uncle Trevor's Game Gear because it doesn't work anymore, which we know with the Game Gears and things, it's capacitors. So I'm going to be changing them capacitors, but we're not going to be using the normal electrolytic capacitors. We're going to use surface mount stuff to be able to repair that. We have got other things coming up. I've got lots of things from PCBWay to be showing you, so stick around, guys. Hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell yeah, and drop me a comment. What do you think of this Andonstar? I think this is absolutely awesome. If you've got any better ones, or you think I should be able to try a different one, then please hit me up and I'll try and have a look at one of those instead. So that's it for this week, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.